On today's installment of 5 Killer Riffs, we're taking a look at The Cult and their guitar player Billy Duffy. The Cult were one of the seminal rock bands from the 1980s, and their sound evolved from a gothic post-punk influenced sound into an arena rock sound by the end of the 80s. In fact, when I think of the phrase rock star, I literally think of the cover of the Sonic Temple album, Billy Duffy with the low-slung Les Paul custom, power stance, hair everywhere, shirt open. And we're going to start out with one of their biggest hits from that album, Firewoman. I love the stomping rhythm guitar on this one. I love the lead that opens the song, and then Ian Astbury's vocals. This is just everything that is great about hard rock music to me. Such a satisfying rhythm guitar part to play. It's a D power chord, a C power chord, and then you've got the G/B chord in there with some different rhythmic accents. Sure, it's not that complex, but playing it with the right attitude and swagger and getting that precision rhythm guitar locked in with the drums and bass is what made The Cult so good at what they do. And that lead part, it's beautifully simple on there. Listening to the recording, it actually sounds like he's sliding up from the D note to an F note. So it's an absolutely killer track from a killer album. It's that perfect mix of late 80s arena rock fused with the AC/DC inspired bare bones rhythm section. Let's take a look at a track from the first Cult album now, which is very much in that new wave post-punk style. I love that this is just droning 3 notes. In fact, just the top 3 notes from an open G chord. This is the song Spiritwalker. So you take the open G, fret 3 on the B, and fret 3 on the high E string, and you play it like this. Once you put it together with the rest of the band, you get this. Next up, we've got a cut from The Cult's second album, Love. This is the track Rain, and it's got a classic Billy Duffy move where you have a droning D string and you play a melody or a riff on the G string. In this case, he's pulling some notes from the D minor scale. You can really hear The Cult moving away from that post-punk sound of their first album and incorporating some psychedelic and hard rock elements on here. And this one is just so satisfying to play. In fact, it's probably my favorite Cult song. There's a gorgeous sounding intro as well, built around some nice open chords. Like a lot of Cult songs, it's basically D, C, and G. There might be the occasional F chord thrown in there, something, but I think it's really made by the tone that Billy Duffy had in there. He's known for using the Roland JC120 and a bunch of Boss pedals, but he's always experimented with blending multiple amps in his rig, like a Marshall style amp, a Vox style amp, and the JC for the stereo tone. And the way this is produced just sounds great. It's right up there with some of my favorite 80s tones from bands like Rush and Queensryche. from the Electric album, the best song the Rolling Stones never wrote, Love Removal Machine. When I sat down to record this one, I realized I'd been playing it wrong this whole time. I saw a TV broadcast when this came out where you can clearly see Billy Duffy playing this as a bunch of Root 5 major chords and adding on the suspension. I just assumed he was sort of doing the Keith Richards thing, going like this. But in fact, he's playing these straightforward bar chords. Again, the master of economy. This one goes hard. Up one of the most iconic riffs of the 80s, if not of all time, She Sells Sanctuary. This has the perfect blend of the Cult's hard rock, psychedelic, and post-punk influences. It's one of the best uses of the D Mixolydian mode. Again, Billy is playing with that open D string and doing the riff on the G. And then you've got that tone. And there's been plenty of interviews where Billy Duffy has talked about how he got that, essentially running a bunch of Boss pedals into a Roland JC120. So what I thought would be cool would be to try and break that down, because he's got a Boss flanger running into not one, but two Boss delays. Basically, if you set up a delay at 400 milliseconds with a very low mix and run it in series into another delay at twice that time, around 800 milliseconds. Again, low mix, low feedback. And then you have a stereo chorus, or in the case of the JC120, it's actually a wet, dry chorus. So let's have a listen to taking a basic rock sound. We'll add a Boss flanger model from the Axe FX, then the 400 millisecond delay, the 800 millisecond delay, and then I'll use the Boss CE1 model on one side of the stereo spectrum here in the Axe FX, and you'll hear this tone come together. Then, of course, we'll hear it in the mix. Now, I think you could definitely cop this tone by running any type of modulation into a 400 millisecond delay, but you could hear as I added each element, it just added more and more character to the part. Something interesting about this as well is that tone on its own is quite washy and a little bit thin, but the way the drums and bass in particular sound on that album just make it work. It does sound very different to the more straightforward hard rock sounds that they had on Electric and Sonic Temple. But man, this is just an iconic combination of elements, isn't it? Here's my take. Hope you enjoyed this video. It was a lot of fun to go through some of my favorite Cult songs, and Billy Duffy is definitely responsible for my early obsession with Les Pauls and growing my hair out, and my later obsession with hollow body guitars, his White Falcons and the Dark Falcons that he's got, his general collection of gear, and the fact that he's always been so open talking about how he went about creating these tones and these parts. He definitely deserves his place in the pantheon of greats from that era. And now I'd love to hear from you. What's your favorite Cult song or your favorite Cult riff? Let me know in the comments section below. Let me know what band I should cover next on 5 Killer Riffs. And if you want to support what I'm doing here on the channel, you can join the Patreon and get access to a whole library of exclusive content. You can check out some of the music that I make with my band Ragdoll as well, or you can just grab the free IRs and the blocks from the video description and go and make some loud guitar noises of your own. See you next time.